You're listening to Hot Takes and Heavy Trauma with Lexi
and Kiana,
two best friends with big mouths, bigger opinions, and backstories your therapist would charge extra for.
We're here to spill the tea, drag whoever needs dragging, and laugh through the pain. Classy, always, filtered, never. Okay.
Action.
We already started. You can start.
I guess we just begin with introducing our special guest.
We
We
don't
have-
get an intro?
We have two.
That's what we-
You need an intro?
Oh, I don't know.
Make one right now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Alright, ready.
Make an
Here come that bullshit, what up? Here come that bullshit, what up? Here come that bullshit, what up? Here come that bullshit, what up?
Oh, I'm Evan or something. I'm her husband.
I'm Henry, future husband.
Cut!
Where's the ring? Where's the ring, though? Wow! Anyways, so, yeah, I guess they're here. So I don't really know.
Okay.
They're here to not put their input in, just to
We're just gonna sit back here.
sit back there. Not on the pretty part.
Very pretty.
So what should we talk about today?
Pick one. Or should we let them pick one?
Did nobody fill out the Google Doc?
No.
Okay, I'm mad at you guys because there's no way that I keep telling you to fill it out and you're not filling it out.
See this right down here? I'm gonna try and do this. See this right here? Fill it. Go to this
Click
link
it.
and fill it out, dude.
Click the link.
In the description.
Yeah. And it's in our Instagram bio.
Yeah. Go
Correct.
follow the Instagram.
You don't follow the Instagram. Yeah, like, why are you guys not doing it?
Okay, we can just start with essential questions to ask before moving in with someone.
That's good.
Okay.
Are you a serial killer? That's not a bad one. That's up there.
No. I'm not
I
asking
would think, like, do you know how to start the washer? Because that's something I really needed to know.
that. Do you know how to take care of yourself? Because I ain't your mom. Period.
Do you know how to wash the dishes?
Yeah. Do you know how to wash the dishes? You know how to wash your clothes? You know how to run a vacuum? You know how to mop the floor?
No, some actual questions. Henry sweats in his sleep. Sorry to be really descriptive, but
Oh, okay.
why is my bed a swimming pool when I wake up in the middle of the night?
So I have very vivid dreams most nights.
That's kind of
very,
scary.
very gruesome sometimes, like vivid dreams. And I will wake up.
That's scary, kind of.
Yeah, like I'll wake up and I'm just soaked. I'm soaking wet.
No,
I
it's
can't
just
control it. It's
something health.
bad. It's I can't control it. I don't know what to do.
I feel you.
I have those too. But my therapist gave me sleeping pills. So.
You should bring up how I can like talk in my sleep.
Yeah, Evan talks like we have
So
full
do-
conversations,
so do I.
but he's asleep.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't realize that he's sleeping.
So there was
Yes.
one time where I was sleeping, and obviously I was dreaming, and I was talking, and I woke up mid-sentence, saying the word as I woke up, and it was frightening.
Yeah, that's
It was very scary.
obvious questions you have to ask financially, like I guess pre-marriage, like where we're at, boyfriend girlfriend status.
Must have a
You-
job.
Yeah, must have a job. Yeah, like stuff like that. You just gotta.
Be educated
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
You have to have a high school diploma.
Have to. It's a
Yeah.
must. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of smart people out there that didn't graduate high school.
Yeah,
Props to you guys.
True that.
Multi-millionaires.
close to it.
I guess just living with the opposite sex. I mean, if I had a girl roommate, I don't know, because I've never had like sisters, so I feel like I would be more mad that they're stealing my clothes and shit, rather than Henry who just leaves his clothes on the
I could
floor.
not live with another girl.
Yeah.
Like for me though, like I couldn't because
Stealing like each other's clothes is just wild.
No, because like, why did I
and
buy
that's
that?
the thing is like, and most of the time, not 100% of the time, like 50% of the time, when you live with another, like if you're a girl like living with another girl, one person is always expected to do everything
Yeah,
because
and-
the other person knows like it will get done. If I don't do it, she's gonna do it, so I'm just not going to.
Yeah, it'd be a lot
Right.
of, I'm not trying to say anything, but it'd be a lot of
Yes.
petty
Too much
things.
estrogen in one area.
Yes, I could not do that.
Ooh, no. I
I'm very like
And we didn't go to college either to like have dorm, like that
I couldn't.
experience. I don't. Yeah,
like I would
couldn't.
have to put myself in debt to get a single dorm. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I get
Especially that small of a space. I could not do it.
No, actually.
Cuz if your side of the room was messy
And you're not
and
picking
you're
it
not
up.
picking it up, I just couldn't do it.
It's crazy how opposite that is. Like, I can remember in high school if somebody came over and stayed for like a week, like one of my best friends, and he'd be like, "Hey, you got a pair of shorts that I can wear until we go to my house?" Yeah, here you go.
Well,
Okay, but
that's
like we weren't
different.
grown.
And they'd be
Now
like,
we
Well,
are
that's
grown, and
also
I'm paying
different.
for
Like
that.
if she's asking to borrow clothes, that's one thing. But most of the time, it's not asking. It's she's not home. I'm gonna go in her closet and get what I want.
Yeah.
And why are you going in my things?
Yeah, like don't fucking go in my room. The fuck. I've seen TikToks of people
Yeah.
who like literally like they're stuck in a lease with someone and they had to like change their bedroom door like handle to make it to where they had a key to
Like,
lock it and
locks
unlock it.
and
And they have to
stuff.
lock
Yeah,
their
that's
room when they
nuts.
leave. They have to label their fucking shit in the fridge.
We
Like
had-
that's what I'm saying. Like I could not do
Oh
that.
no, my fucking food.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like our brothers definitely ate our favorite leftovers,
Yeah.
and that just turned into like a fist fighting match. But like I can't do that with a random chick. So
No. Even if it wasn't a random, like I just couldn't. Like if we lived together and you ate like something, I would be pissed.
be done.
Yeah, if you took something without, like, I would be mad. I don't care who it is. Like, you could be my best. You could be my fucking mom. Like, if I like,
Oh
I
my
couldn't.
fuck! I used to steal all of my mom's stuff though.
I
And
would.
She would be pissed.
My mom. The thing with my mom is she always wanted me to like dress up and like look cute.
In
So
her
she would.
clothes?
She would. Yeah, in her clothes. So she would literally be like, "You should wear this. This is so cute." And sometimes I would, but then me and my mom have very different styles. So sometimes
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Mom, thanks, but I'm not gonna wear that." So.
Thanks, but no.
But I would never like go in my mom's closet and steal stuff because we have different, like our styles are too different.
I would.
She did that to me. She still has stuff of
Yeah.
mine.
Dang.
Going back to like the whole roommate thing, we have had our own little experience with roommates, and I would never do it. Especially if you're a couple. Do not be roommates with
With another
your
couple?
friends or another couple.
Wait, so you guys were
Yes.
living together and then you had a roommate?
Yes. So we had an apartment whenever we first moved out, and this individual was not roommate approved at all, not one bit.
Borderline serial killer? Or?
No, just did a lot of stupid things at the time before we knew the truth.
It was supposed to be. It was supposed to be me and Evan.
Wait, name drop, but we'll block it out.
It was supposed to be me and Evan, and then they were dating. But then backed out last minute and didn't want to move out of his parents' house.
So it's just a girl?
So it was just her.
And then a bunch of stuff happened.
And
with
yeah,
lot
a bunch of
lying
stuff
and-
happened. She was like lying all the time. She like invited a bunch of people over. They were like smoking weed when we weren't supposed to be smoking, like in the apartment. And the apartment wasn't like at an apartment complex either. It was above these people's like garage.
Oh.
So like
Where they could smell it? Hello?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing is like do whatever you want. Like I have no like judgment against people. Whatever you want to
Right.
smoke, you can smoke. That's
Not in the
fine.
house.
But not in
Where
a
your things
house
yeah.
when you're living with other people because like we don't smoke. So then we were going to work, like I was
Smelling
in
like
college,
it.
going to school, smelling like weed. Like you can't
No.
do that to people and then lie about it. And like she went on like a trip to Michigan for like a week, came back with like a shit ton of like pot
Oh.
and like invited a bunch of people over and like
Her cousin.
yeah, like
come
so
over
it was like
every day
so many
with
people
bombs
that we
and
didn't even know them. And she
Oh, I
invited them
couldn't do
all
that.
over, didn't ask, didn't like let us know. I got home from school, Evan got home from work, and there was just like 6 people there and they were just all just getting high.
I would be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, we
And
we kicked
also-
her out of the apartment.
How do you lie about smoking pot? It's such a distinctive
It is.
smell.
Exactly.
How
Like
do you be like, no, I didn't. Like,
and like I
That
said,
wasn't us.
I didn't care that she was doing it. It's not that she was smoking because like I said, I have no judgment for that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
don't lie to me about it and don't do it in a shared apartment with people who don't
Yeah.
smoke that
Yeah.
have real actual jobs. Like Evan could have got fired for that.
Right.
Like you can't
Yeah.
do stuff like that. And that was the thing too is like at the time I didn't even know. I knew that she vaped. Which that's fine. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Like you can vape in a house and the other people aren't going to smell like your vape. Whatever.
And it won't like, damage the house. like-
Exactly. But well, I mean, it can, but that's like if it's like excessively like
for years.
yes.
Right.
But I had no idea that she smoked weed, and so we like went into that situation without knowing that, and then she just sprung it like that, and then it was like it wasn't like I wouldn't even say that it was like recreational use because it was every single day. And when you're like using like recreational, you're like, once in a while, like
A
whatever.
blue moon, yeah.
That was like straight up every single
Yeah,
day she
every
was
day.
high. Every
And-
day.
Yeah.
And going into a little segue to like what actually happened with her moving in and not, she kind of lied about their whole relationship and made this person look like the bad guy in the relationship. So we actually hated him for a long time.
No, yeah.
And he was your guys' friend before?
Yeah. But like whenever which I was pissed at him for backing out. Literally because it wasn't even like it was like weeks before. It was literally the day we were moving in.
Oh,
Evan
no.
went over to help him like load his stuff up into the car, and he literally was like, "I'm not going."
He's freaking out.
So I was pissed.
Which
Right.
now I know why.
Well, and now I know that, but I was pissed. I was like, "How the fuck are you about to sign a lease with somebody the day
guys
that we're
plan it
about to
out.
move in?" Yeah, like what the actual? How do you do that to someone? I was mad,
Yeah.
and so then I was mad at him already. So then she was like feeding me stuff like that. It was all lies.
Yeah.
But since I was already mad, I like just believed it because I was already mad at him.
Right.
And which was bad on my part because he was my friend too. But like I said, I was already pissed off. So I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about how I was pissed.
Right.
And he was just like a bad person. We did not talk to him for like the whole time we lived there, which was like 8.5 months.
Oh, dang.
Did not talk to him, like completely shut him out. Even like our other friends like were mad.
Dang.
And
all over just
yeah.
And they had their own like little
And they had their
breakup
own
thing.
yeah, they had their own like stuff that they were mad about too with him. It was like a whole situation because while he was with her, he was like a completely different person. So then after they broke up, everybody was kind of just like, you like changed yourself to fit this girl's like what she wanted.
Needs.
Yeah, so like we're like mad at you and like you need to like
stop.
yeah, they were like, we need a break from you because that was a lot. And so yeah, we did not like talk to him for like 8.5 months. And then he texted one day and he like apologized to me, and it was like a very like sincere, like heartfelt apology. Like I could tell. And so like I called him and like we talked on the phone for like 3.5 hours and like everything came out. I told him everything that she was saying. He told me everything, like, and then it took him like a couple weeks to like apologize to everyone else that was in our like friend group because he was like really he knew and he knew that he let them down, and they had been friends since like elementary school, so a lot longer than like all like him and I had been friends. So he was like super like, I know that I let them down, like it's gonna take a while for me to like make an apology good enough for them.
Right.
But
is huge for him to
yeah,
That's
yeah.
growth.
Yes. But him and I were good, and yeah, so it was like, but yeah, so basically like the thing with like living together, like just you have to really, if you're going to do that, like you have to really know the person that you're
Talk about it before, plan it before,
Yeah.
months before.
and you have to like, I mean, everything about them basically, like you have to like completely open yourself up to this person. They have to do the same, because if she would have done that and told us everything, I wouldn't have never we would have just stayed at Evan's parents' house because that's where we were living before. Honest to God, like we would have, because I would have never put myself in that situation.
And that's the thing, like whenever you move into somebody like that, you like obviously all of the things that you don't see or like are invisible to you and like what you do and like how you act like around just you. And then whenever somebody else comes in, that person's going to be able to point out all the things that are just totally in the back of your head. And I think you got to just be able to do like take that and fix those things that were once invisible. So it's just it's a hard thing to do.
It has to be like the very right person to move in, because like me and Keith.
I feel like relationship wise, like I don't know, with a roommate and in relationship, there's like
It's different, but
Yeah.
it's like there's some of the things that are the same, but it's different. Like, there's a lot of things that are different too. Because if you're moving in with a partner, then you've been in a relationship with them. Hopefully, you've had that vulnerable, like, I know everything
Those
about you,
moments,
you know
yeah.
everything about me. Hopefully, and it's not like you're going in like,
Blinded.
oh my god, like, this was a terrible idea, like
Which
whatever.
some people do that, and
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people definitely do that.
Yeah.
But with a roommate, I think it's different. But with like a relationship, there's definitely some things that are similar whenever it's like with just a roommate, but there should definitely be differences too.
Yeah.
Like,
Me and Key don't fight. When we fight, like it stays in the house. It stays in the house.
Your
And
face.
so with a roommate, it has to be the very right person where they don't
Mm.
exploit
yeah.
those arguments,
Yeah.
and you guys turn against each other 4 months after you guys
Yeah.
move into each other
Right.
with each other. It's rough.
Yeah, when you're in a relationship and you're arguing, and like no matter if you're living together or not, I feel like your arguments and like your problems should stay within your relationship.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think another thing too with like arguing, like what Henry said, like it stays in the house. That's a really big thing. But also, I feel like
you need a
if it
vent.
stays in the house, yeah, you should, like, if you get into an argument, that's perfectly normal in relationships. Like, nobody's ever going to have a relationship where you don't argue about something. And it could be like small arguments, it could be big arguments. Like, I'm sorry, I've never met anybody in a relationship that has not argued.
Never argued, then you're not being yourself.
Exactly.
If you-
And yeah.
If you don't argue, even if it's the smallest thing, like you just don't try. You
And
don't care.
that's what I was gonna say is, like, if
Yeah.
you're not like fighting for what you feel like you have like strong feelings about, then you just genuinely don't even care to be
It's
in
not
that
a relationship
relationship.
with
Yeah. But like with like it staying in the house and stuff, I 1000% agree. Like, I don't think that you argue about something like in the morning, like, or whatever, like you get off of work and you're having an argument, whatever. Like, if you're arguing, I think that, having like that, it stays in the house, you don't take it, I'm not going to go to my bedroom and call my mom and tell my mom, like,
Every little
oh,
detail.
like, oh, me and Evan just got into a fight and it was like, this is what happened, da 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 da, whatever.
Right.
But then on that same like point and aspect, I don't think that you should have an argument and then the argument is just like the rest of your day, and then you're
Never
going to bed
getting it
not
out.
talking about it, not like fixing the issues, not like apologizing to each other or whatever. Like, me and Evan, like, we never go to bed mad at each other,
Right.
ever. Like, if we get into a fight, like, that's fine, we're in an argument, whatever.
Mhm.
But I have a lot of, well, you guys know because I talk about it, mental issues. So like I'm bipolar, like diagnosed bipolar. So I explode, like, and it could be the littlest thing, like I explode over it. And
Yeah.
he has learned that. We've been together for almost 5 years. Like, he's learned, like, when, even if he like even if I'm wrong, he knows like when to take a step back and like give me that, like,
Let you relax.
yes. And so like we do that, and we both of us like calm down, and then after we're both calmed down, like, we talk about it. Like, I understand why you feel this way, but this is why, whatever. And then it's not an
Right.
argument, it's a discussion. And that way we're not going to bed like mad at each other. We apologize, we talk about it, we get everything out without the argument aspect of
Yeah.
it. Like, we have the argument, but then we have the discussion afterwards. And I feel like that's like, and it wasn't like that at first. Like, when we would argue, we would argue. But
Yeah.
I feel like whenever you're in a relationship with somebody, especially like we're married now, like we live together, we have a house together, like
This is life.
it's, yeah, like you have to have that healthy boundary of like, it's okay that we're arguing, but after, like, you need to talk about it. You need to like get that out. And if you don't have that with somebody, then like, in my opinion, it's like, why are you even arguing? Because at the end of the day, it's just gonna continuously be a fight. Like, isn't that
Yeah.
so exhausting?
Yeah.
Like, that would just be so exhausting to me. Like, just fighting constantly and never, ever, ever talking about it, going to bed angry, like going hours without talking to each other because you're still so pissed off about whatever. Like,
You're just
that's
wasting.
You're wasting
your life.
exactly. Like,
You're
you're just
wasting-
wasting your time. And
I have a question for Evan.
Okay,
So, all right, so diagnosed bipolar.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever she has like a mental breakdown, right?
Right.
And she needs you to take a step back, leave her alone, let her cool down, or she needs you to, all touchy feely,
Yeah.
like hug, whatever.
Right.
How do you know in what situation to give what? Because
Oh, dude.
this one, because she could tell me that's what she wants. She wants a hug, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next second, it's don't touch me. I don't even want to speak to you.
Well, buddy.
Let me have the mic. Wait.
Okay,
Interception.
defend yourself.
Let
Go
me.
ahead.
Okay. So for a while, I think we were just really struggling with like arguing and not talking about it. So I just like we would go all day being mad at each other. So I would just crave that. Oh well, do you even love me? Like, can you just like hug me? Like, make me feel safe again?
Well, no, and that's 1,000% like
I need to feel safe.
because
Like, are we okay?
even though you're arguing, at the end of the day, like you're in a relationship with that person,
Yeah.
and you know that you love them, even though you're fighting right now. So even though you're pissed off at each
You
other,
need
you
that.
still want to know, like,
We're
you're
okay.
mad at me, but even though you're mad at me, like I still like am craving that like love and
Yes.
support, even though we're
But-
mad.
Men are simple in that way. Men will be like, "Hey, do you love me?" Women will be like, "If I was a donkey and you were a
If I was a worm, would you still love me?
Still love
Oh,
me?"
okay. But back to like the non-touchy, like that just happens in like moments of life. Like if I'm so stressed out in the time of my life, like financially or job wise or whatever it is, and like we're arguing and I'm just like fed up with everything, then no, I don't want you to touch me. No, I don't want to hug. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I don't want you to touch me right now because I'm pissed off at you. And then I'll give you a hug 5 minutes later.
I'm
like
interested to hear Evan's answer.
Yeah,
Okay,
me
so going back, can you restate the question the best?
Okay,
as
so
possible?
if she's mad and when one day she tells you all she wants is a hug and the next day it's don't touch me, let me cool down for a second, how do you decide in which situation to use what best comfort
So
zone?
I'll be honest, I kind of result to the same thing. So whenever we have like an argument or something happens and she's real upset, I think it's important to kind of give her a little bit of space for like even if it's like 5 minutes, just for kind of. I think both of us are at the point where we can kind of just emotionally kind of reset a little bit and kind of rile down because it's human nature to just instantly want to defend yourself.
Yeah.
So
dang.
so it's a really hard thing to kind of lock down and know to not defend yourself or feel kind of inflicted to do those things and inflict that damaging first words or first couple sentences or anything that you would say from just you being human that you're going to regret in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think it's really important to take that time to kind of separate, but not all day, not talking to each other. Give that 5-10 minutes where you just kind of breathe, reset a little bit, go in, complete monotone, not monotone, but not anger, don't have any angry feelings, nothing like that, just totally down to earth. Say, hey, apologize for if you're in the wrong, apologize for it, and just kind of
Even if
work
you're
it out.
not in the wrong, because
Both just apologize.
you
Yeah.
don't have to
Done.
be in the wrong for what you're saying to still hurt the other person's
Yeah.
feelings.
And I learned how to take like the first 5 sentences of an argument. Don't take that serious because those will be the most hurtful words you've ever heard in your life.
That's what I mean by human nature to just defend yourself. Those words are not.
An argument is
truly
to
what
see
you
who
believe.
wins. Like who's
Yeah.
gonna win. And
Yeah.
that first punch is like, oh, you're losing. Like
Right.
I'm gonna hurt you so
Yeah.
bad. Just like you're done.
It's just human nature. Like we
Yeah.
can't even control it. That's just how
yeah.
just how we're bred to do it. That's just all it is. And I think that's the downfall of a lot of people is that they won't get over those things of just instantly just wanting to defend themselves like their life depends on it whenever in 5 minutes you're going to regret everything that you just said.
Yeah.
And then
I
that
like
damage
the-
is already done.
I like to think of of arguments like building like a wall. So like you're building your first like the first thing that you say is like the foundation of your wall, and then everything else is just like the bricks or like the whatever, the stones that
Stacking it up.
you're just stacking it up. So the very first thing that you say, it has to be the strongest thing because it's the foundation of the wall.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, it could be the most hurtful thing ever. It has to, it has to be a strong statement that is gonna hurt because it's the foundation. It has to be like you could like say something from like 6 years ago that is gonna hurt their feelings. It doesn't matter because that's the foundation and it's strong.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hurt and it's strong.
That's
and
the deepest cut.
And I think
Yes.
The bulldozer.
And I think
bulldozes down the wall.
It's
Well-
not the sorries. It's the one singular
in
apology
my opinion,
that is
I hate I'm sorry. Evan knows that. I hate
yeah.
it. Because you can say I'm sorry so many fucking times,
Never
it
mean
doesn't
it.
matter.
You
know,
never
and
mean
I saw because I saw this TikTok, which is so funny, but I saw this TikTok, this guy, he had like a broken glass and he had band-aids that put the stuff
the
back
wine?
together in the wine.
Yeah.
Like the band-aids are the I'm sorry and the broken glass is like everything. It doesn't
You're
matter. You
broken.
can say I'm sorry so many times to somebody.
It's your actions.
Exactly.
That prove your
If you're not changing your actions to the thing you're saying I'm sorry for, then your sorry doesn't mean
You're
shit.
literally wasting your breath.
You're
because-
like, don't even say sorry to me if you're not gonna actually fix the problem. And I tell
Right.
like that's what I tell Evan all the time, and he's learned like it's not. I don't care. Say sorry to me 10,000 times until you're blue in the fucking face. I don't care that you're sorry. I
Right.
don't.
And not even to. I feel like you don't always bring up, like, I guess because it's not what like has made you, but like your past, like how you like have been brought up, everything that's
Mhm.
happened to you. Like, I don't know. We both have father figure issues, so like with the men in our lives, I feel
Yeah.
like that definitely affects it. And I'm sorry, but like I just won't believe you as a man
Yeah.
if you're.
I've been let down so many times
and that's
by
just yeah.
in so many different situations. It doesn't have to be the same situation. Like obviously like the things that my dad let me down with are different than the things that Evan is going to do
Right.
per se, but like it doesn't matter because that like for years and years and years and years and years, oh, I'm going to change. I promise I'm going to do this. Like this is going to be
Exactly.
different. And it never ever ever was. Ever. It's
No
like
one's.
you can say that you're sorry to me all you want and that, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's really great and I love that you're saying that, but like if unless you show me, I'm not going to believe you because
Exactly.
that's just what my life was like. And even though it was years ago and like I've grown as a person and like I've grown mentally and things like that, it doesn't matter because in the back of my head and in my heart, that's what happened. And it's just
When you're arguing, you're at like when you're having to defend yourself, you're at your most vulnerable point.
mhm.
So like your brain is automatically gonna just like trigger. I mean, when I cry. I start to cry about one thing, but then I start to cry about my entire
Yeah.
life,
So I think
like my entire life.
I think that's why it's super important whenever you get in those arguments to not bring up things that you know are going to do this. I think it's on you to not jump to defend yourself to that degree in order to, like, this is your spouse. Like obviously, like you fight for things that you love, but you don't tear them down. You don't say such hurtful things that they just totally break down. They feel like totally brought down, like self-esteem through the floor.
Yeah.
Like that's not what you need to do. This is your spouse. Obviously, you got to take care of this person.
Yeah.
And
Like we're just babies.
okay, like you gotta just know to not blurt out anything and everything
Yeah.
that you know will take that person down.
I
And
have
with you being with you being the, I guess, the man of the house, you have to be a stronger foundation for this person here. I don't know how you do with crying, but I can't do it. I was never taught to cry. It's always been black and white.
I'll tell
always
you,
been,
I'm a crier, dude.
Really?
Real bad. I
Really?
cry. So I think, I don't know, dude. I've always been a crier since I was a kid, but I think crying, dude, like whenever, if you ever reach that point of crying, do it. It is so good for just relationships and relating. I feel like that's the most vulnerable point you could be at with somebody. It's just you two just both bawling your eyes out, so passionate about something that has been brought up or anything like that to where it's brought you to that state and you're just one-on-one with this person,
Yeah.
just totally involved and sinking pretty much.
Yeah,
It's pretty powerful.
It happens every once in a blue moon with me, and when it does, it is very, like, it's everything that goes out. But when I go to work and I don't cry during the day, I don't come home, I don't cry, and then when she cries, I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm not
Right.
I'm not
So-
crying. I can't.
So I think in a man's perspective, I think with the jobs that we do and the men that we're surrounded with every single day, I feel like if you're surrounded by those type of people and don't have, that connection with yourself or anybody like I have a couple guys that I work with that I can be super vulnerable with, like with anything
definitely.
and everything that's going on,
Mhm.
and they'll give me advice, just those good people
Yeah,
that you need.
love those good
and
people.
and so I feel like even with those people, like I've cried to a couple guys at work, like with stuff that's going on, or like, I was never this person, but this past year I checked myself into counseling through work because I knew that there was some stuff that just eternally that I needed to work on for myself, but I didn't know how to do it. So even that was a real big step, because my family's all like, redneck, like,
Yeah.
just straight up, just, just
Tough it
deal
out.
with it, tough it
Yeah.
out, thug it
Yep.
out, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's just, especially in a relationship where you need to be vulnerable and emotional, it's just bridging that gap and like cutting that in
Yeah.
order to where you can, like, in certain situations be, you know, that person. And then with this person, you are totally exclusive. Like,
Yeah.
this is where all
And
my emotion is.
It's hard
between
not to
this.
carry that from work because I work on the pipeline. I've seen some stuff that
Wait, pause.
most
I
people.
have to insert this.
Yeah. So
That was terrible. But I've seen a lot of stuff that, like, I mean, people out there, you'll break a finger, it'll pop it back into place and get back to work. Like,
there's a lot of rough people out there,
there's
dude.
some rough people. I mean, fire blowing out the end of the pipe and people just stand down
Yep.
there in the ditch and just handling it. Like,
So where I work, this person, I guess, was lifting glass and doing a bunch of stuff with glass without any sleeves on or any covers, and he ended up just straight up slitting his forearms and almost bleeding out at work. So I definitely feel like people like that are just so think they're so tough,
yeah.
and just have that mentality that we have just internally with family, or just always being brought up by like our parents or family members, just to be this hard-headed man that don't feel emotion. Or
yeah.
I feel like that's, I mean, it could be a problem, but in some situations it'd be good to be in certain situations where you need to defend this person. You need to have that kind of instinct, I guess.
Okay, but say what you're gonna say.
Okay. With the whole crying thing, like Henry talking about how he doesn't deal with emotions or like crying wise, all of that. I think for like as a man, if you're brought up like that with the we don't do emotions, we don't cry, that just means you're weak, whatever, like that's on your part. But as a female, like when we're crying, I mean like we are crybabies. It's just like our instinct to like be emotional. But as a partner, like to see you cry with me about something that I feel is so important to me, that is just giving me that you don't even have to say sorry, because that's everything to me. Like you are so vulnerable to be sad about something I'm sad about. Like you're crying because you're hurting me. That
Just builds your guys' relationship.
100%.
So I have a question for them. Being in a relationship with a female who has all of the trauma like that we both have, I want to know what it's like from their perspective, because I know what it's like from my perspective, having trauma and being in a relationship, but I want to know the other side of that, because I don't, obviously we don't know.
Right. Like, am I just batshit crazy? Are
Right.
you
Like,
okay?
what is it like to be in a relationship with someone?
And how do you deal with like making, like, I guess our father figure problems, like, and then you being our partners, like how
Yeah.
do you make it like okay.
how does that? I want to know.
All right, I'll start.
One by one.
So I guess it just comes down to just understanding the person. Like obviously you said that you're diagnosed bipolar, and coming from, at least for me, I don't, nobody that I was brought up with have ever had this thing, and or that I know of. So I think it was hard, starting out and like trying to just like figure it out, and it takes a long, I shouldn't say it takes a long time, but it takes a lot of effort to understand these things that obviously it's totally different from how you may think or anything like that. So I think it just comes down to understanding and kind of just like, so if you have, if something comes up and you are upset about it or whatever, and it's confusing to me because like this doesn't bother me, but it bothers you. So I think it's just understanding and like kind of just jumping into their shoes and kind of just trying to understand it as best as possible and ask questions, and like don't be scared to not understand and ask. And in certain situations sometimes asking can kind of be annoying, but I think just doing your own research and doing these things in order to understand, obviously, your person that you're going to be with is super huge. So that whenever you do have a fight or you do have these situations where she's really upset and about something, it doesn't even need to be a fight or anything, and you're kind of just brought back like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's just super, super huge to just know how to understand, know how to study emotion. So even my counselor said that my emotional health or my emotional age, I don't know is what she called it, is
Mature.
really good.
Yeah.
So I'm very good with kind of studying everybody's emotion.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter where I'm at, Walmart, wherever, I'm always just studying like people's movements, their attitude, their how they move themselves. So I think it just comes down to just studying, the person that you love the most and being vulnerable and being confident in being able to, understand these things and fill their shoes and kind of just level yourself out and whatever you think and whatever your feelings are to their level and kind of build each other back up through that.
Yeah. I'm pretty good about I guess analyzing people as well, but like you said, jumping into their shoes. If you jump into their shoes, you're molded to that person. If me and Key broke up, or if you guys ever broke up and we got into another relationship that the girl had no trauma, no emotion, I wouldn't know what to do because I'm molded to her to make her feel better because I know her entire backstory. I wouldn't know how to act with another person that has no trauma. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's so, you just got to comfort them. That's it. That's all there is to it. You jump in their shoes and you ask questions. I mean, obviously you guys are open about it. You started a whole podcast about it, but some people may not be, but if you jump into their shoes and ask questions, it's, you deal with it. And with being the whole dad figure thing, I mean, I'm always going to take care of, I'm always, no, the whole dad figure thing with you guys. I'm going to fix your car. I'm going to never let you drive in an unsafe car. I'm never going to let you go hungry. You're always going to have clothes on your back. You're always going to have, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm your dad, but.
So I think that's definitely the kind of the male. I mean, they can do it
The
themselves.
male,
It's not that they can't do it themselves, but I think,
And I will.
And just like a man's perspective, that's just what we want to do.
Yeah,
So
I want to take care of you.
We have been brought up in a certain way, to where we need to take care of somebody, and that's kind of what my dream is to be, a husband and a father figure for my child.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something that I've always wanted, so I've always gravitated towards those things.
I think this is so freaking corny, but The princess treatment shit is real. I shoveled, but I went out and started a car to go on the way over here. I shoveled a whole path for her to get to the passenger seat of the car. A whole path all the way. I said, just stay on the path. I shoveled a
I
whole
never
path all
open the
way.
door. I never do.
As you shouldn't.
I never
And
do.
That's the thing.
And if I do, he gets mad
I
and
do.
he shuts the door
See,
and
that's the other
reopens
thing.
it.
If I'm doing these things for you and you try to do it yourself, stop.
Yeah.
No.
And that's
bad.
why you find someone who does that. Because sometimes I think nowadays in this generation, we struggle as females to see the bare minimum and then princess treatment. But also, like, not like, oh, a man should be paying for this, 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 this. He needs to be doing all of this. And that's like the rules. No, it's just like love wise. Like, it's just how to treat someone. And like, you just do
Y'all
it.
guys need to get it together. Some of you guys out there that are just doing whatever, don't have jobs, and you're like
Yeah.
freaking
Okay.
30.
It's terrible.
Get it together, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
It's not that McDonald's is paying how much now.
Go get a
Like,
job
it's
there. Like,
ridiculous.
seriously.
I'm out here 60 hours a week in the freezing cold, -2 in the 90-degree weather.
My
and people work
collar,
at McDonald's
my
for so
niggas
much
red.
money.
Yeah, I just think that, like what you said, like a lot of females, they like take like,
They don't know.
oh my gosh, he paid for my dinner. Like, bitch, that's the bare minimum.
Like,
the fuck?
What the freak?
Why are you falling in love with a man who paid for you when he asked you out on a date and he paid for the date?
Yeah.
The fuck? That's what he's supposed to do. Why are you
Yeah.
falling in love with a man who's doing the bare minimum for you?
And like we said, dating. Like at the beginning, if you guys are like talking and like you're figuring out it before you say boyfriend, girlfriend, or
Mhm.
whatever, before you put titles and stuff, he should be chasing you. He should be paying for this. He should be taking you
Yeah.
out. He should be dating you. And then once you guys get comfortable, obviously your roles fall into place and like it's a balance between, I mean, I don't know, 50-50, or if he's got it all for you, like sugar baby, that's fine. But seriously, like men need to be chasing. Also, in a relationship, no matter the length, the men should always be chasing.
Oh,
You should be chasing your
1000%.
partner, because why are you like why are you with someone like you're not crushing on?
Oh yeah, and the thing is like we're married now, okay? So everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, the honeymoon phase will be over.
Shut the hell up.
I don't know about y'all, but I married my best friend. Like, we have fun every day. I'm
Every day
always
and night.
laughing. Like, we literally the other night literally were laying in bed and we was like opposite, like my feet were at his head. And like we were literally just
Wait, what?
talking. Yeah, like we were like laying the opposite.
I don't like feet, guys.
No, that's
Don't
not what
turn
I
that into a
meant.
feet
That's
fetish
not what I
thing.
meant.
Right.
We were just like laying opposite, and we were literally just talking about the most random shit ever. It did not make any sense. And I started like, I work with kids with autism, so like a lot of them have like stims. I started doing one of the kids' stims that he was doing, and Evan thought that was the funniest shit ever, so I kept doing it. And then I did it to him, and like we were just like back and forth doing the stupidest shit ever, just laughing our fucking asses off. Like, I'm sorry if you married someone who you only had fun with for a month, but baby, we're having fun all the time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, like,
And that's annoying to hear. Like after you just get married, like to someone to just like y'all are just mad. You're just
Yeah.
mad and you're not happy with yourselves or your relationship. That doesn't mean go on to other people's
and
shit.
like we're married, but we still are dating. Like, we still go out on dates. We
Yes.
still do all this, like,
As
all
it
of this
should be.
same
by the
stuff
way.
as for like we never, like, just because we're married now, it's not like, oh, well, we're together now,
Sign a
like,
contract, we'll have to
legally.
put any effort in.
Yeah, now we're just whatever. No, that's not how it's, and it will never be like that, because like I said, like, we were best friends, like, and we still are, like, we're best friends. I'm not ever, I know that I'm never going to lose the honeymoon phase, whatever, because like I said, like, we are best friends. When you marry your best friend, you have fun all the time. You do stuff like, it's the stupidest
Here's the
shit
thing,
ever.
If you lose the honeymoon phase, you're just not attracted to that person.
And that's and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you're okay, and I feel like this happens a lot, especially nowadays, like, you've been with somebody for so long and you get comfortable, so you don't break up even though there's nothing there, so then you just get married because, well, you want to be married,
Maybe it'll put the
even,
spark back
yeah, and whatever, and then you're still miserable in your life, but now what are you going to do? Divorce is so much money. You don't want to pay for a divorce lawyer or whatever. You don't want to do that, so now you're stuck. Listen, I don't feel bad for those people. You did that to yourself. If your relationship, if there was no spark in your relationship, why the fuck would you marry them?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, especially too, like now, like people are having babies, like nothing against it. That's not what I'm saying. Like without being married, and then you have a baby with somebody, you're dating them, whatever. So then they're like, oh, now we have a kid, so now we have to get married. Like, but then
You're just gonna ruin
you're just like, I just don't exactly like. It's not.
Sorry about it, but you are.
You just because you have a kid with somebody does not mean you have to marry them. And just because you've been with somebody like since high school or whatever, if the spark is gone, you don't have to marry them just because you've been with them for 6 years or whatever. Yeah, it's going to suck to have to start over with someone else, and I think that's what a lot of people are scared of is starting over, but why would you want to put yourself in a situation where you're miserable all the time and you don't have that fun honeymoon, all the every day is fun, even through like the bad days, like you can be in an argument in the morning but then in the afternoon you're like laughing like, your little kids, like, what, I just don't understand why you wouldn't want that, why you're just settling. I just don't get it.
It's very hard to keep. I wouldn't say to keep a spark, because if it's the right person, it's the right person. But around here, the dates and the stuff, it's just what you do, go to Texas Roadhouse. What you do, go out to eat. But like, there's nothing new attraction wise, or nothing new unless you're driving 3 hours. There's nothing new. That's why we go on vacations. Yes, vacations. If you cannot go on a week-long vacation with somebody and put your phones down and talk, and it's not the best time of your life, wrong person. Sorry about it. If you cannot go spend a week in a house with somebody, whether that's right off the rip of your relationship, go on a week-long vacation and spend a week in that house with somebody, see how they live. And if you're not having the best time, or you don't like something they do, wrong person. Sorry about it. That's all it is.
That's valid. So going back to kind of the relationship thing and like a kid involved, and so my parents obviously had us, me and my brother, as twins, and so at first,
Wait, you are a twin.
yeah,
I always forget that. I always think like one's older than the other, but
I'm a minute older, so basically,
a minute. Wait, what?
So, growing up, I had two parents that, they loved each other, but eventually, as time went on, they kind of just settled on that they were just in the relationship for us kids.
Yeah.
And kind of stuck it out until we graduated high school, or we were old enough for them to feel comfortable with doing that. But, I tell my parents all the time that you don't really need, if you guys were miserable for 18, 19 years, and you guys just were stuck in a relationship that you guys didn't want to be in. And I told my dad all the time, like, you guys didn't need to do that. Like, you did. I get why you did it. I love that you did it. I respect that. But that's 18 years of your life
gone,
that you were spending with a person that, you love them, but
didn't even sleep in the same bed.
You like, yeah, they did.
I hate that.
Like when not while I was ever around. Your mom
Well,
always slept on the couch, which I always felt so bad. Like,
but it's just like they loved each other, but they had so many fights where they, like we said earlier, where they were just defending themselves all the time. And as a kid, I resented my dad for always, because I thought he was always the initiator, and I know it always got pointed out to me that he was doing something wrong, and he was doing a bunch
always
of stuff.
Takes two.
And that's what I come to realize, and I apologize to my dad, and we had a real like emotional moment. We were both crying to each other, and I think that has built me and my father's connection so close to each other. And as an adult now, I always resented him and didn't have like, we didn't go hunting as a kid because I didn't want to go hunting with my dad or whatever. And now I'm like, I missed out on so many things. That I wish I would have known, because my dad is like real, like he knows how to use every tool on the planet. Like,
same.
And I have totally lost all those things where it could have been just muscle memory to know how to do all these things, and I just totally missed out on it because my parents were forcing a relationship that just wasn't there.
That almost would have been better if they would have split. Think about how many things if your dad got his own place and your mom got her own place and your dad took you hunting every other weekend or something, or he showed you every other weekend all these tools or everything. Instead, they were despising each other and making it worse on you, which I get. That is great intentions. Like, you stay
Yeah,
for your
100%,
kids. That is
100%.
great intentions.
That's what I
but
mean. Why I respect it,
And
but at the same point,
it's nice because like the intention was there, but it's like
It builds resentment.
it's not the intention is not enough. You
Yeah.
can't
so growing up, it was kind of like every day. Well, most days were kind of a fight, and then it would just totally take up like everybody's energy and everything for the
Yeah.
day. So, like growing up, we never went on vacations, or we never really had those moments up until a few years ago. The only place that I've ever really been to was Washington, and that was for school. So, I think
Still pissed I didn't
it
go
just
on my DC trip because of COVID.
trust me, you didn't really miss out on a
Nah,
lot.
that was terrible.
I like that.
I actually got so the first night we were in there, we got like 3 noise complaints because we were like just
we're not talking
wrestling.
about
Anyway,
that.
sorry, I got sidetracked. But anyways, so yeah, I feel like them kind of forcing that relationship for us kids. Like I said, I respect that, but it, I think it did a lot more damage than they thought, and I think they know that. But I think it's just them. You have to reap your decisions.
Yeah, you got to take a step back and realize what's going to benefit you and the kids at the same time.
I've been with Evan for 5 years, and it's been what, like a year or two that your parents like have been.
Probably around 2.5.
Yeah, like two and a
Well,
half.
since 2023, probably.
Yeah.
3 years.
So like yeah. And honest to God, the last 3 years I have like since they've been like split up is like they're completely different people.
They're a lot
Like
more happy.
yeah, like it's like completely different people, and it's like it makes me so sad because it's like if that would have happened like before, then I just feel like their lives would have just like they would have just been so much more happy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like
That's terrible because now you and Evan are together and you're all grown. You guys are all grown up, and then you look back and what did it cost them?
yeah.
It cost them
That's what I mean. That's
happiness.
why I went to my dad. Like, I
Yeah,
literally
and
went over to his house, and I
it's
was like, I finally understand.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's
what
like-
you were going through and how I resented.
You guys are people too.
you.
Yeah.
You have
That's-
to make your decisions based on obviously your kids, but I mean that is a tough predicament.
Whenever you
to be
have
in.
kids,
Yeah.
dude, your life changes.
Your life changes forever.
And I think it's just like it's just like so like now though, but it's like before when Evan and I first got together and seeing that being in that environment, and like it wasn't like a secret that they didn't like each other.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't. Like I said, like Evan's mom like slept on the couch, which always made me so sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
And like they were always like they never talked. Never. They were always like in an argument. It was like there was so much tension in the house, and I always felt so bad. And like then whenever they split up, like it's like amazing.
Whoa.
Like the like seeing the difference in two people, it's just like amazing, and it just makes me so sad for them because I wish like for them that would have been like Evan said, like that's 18 years of your
Yeah.
life. Like you could have been this way for 18 years. But like I think it was also a very like selfless decision too. They knew they were unhappy, but they stayed in that situation for 2 kids that they had.
I admire
100%.
them doing
Which,
that for
yeah,
sure.
like I said, like the intention is really, really good, and like that was really selfless. But like, also at the same time, like sometimes the intention is just not enough.
Yeah,
Like
Right.
you raised 2 kids in a household that was full of tension. Like
as
Yeah.
the child in the situation, I feel like it was definitely kind of like I respect their decision, but I kind of wish they wouldn't have done it because, like I said, that's 19 years of their life where they were just
Right.
miserable and
like you have a lot of that too.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
as in the child's perspective, like she said, you might relate to this a lot more. But it's kind of like, as a grown up, and you can kind of fill their shoes and think about those situations a lot more different.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of like as a kid, you don't even think about it. So
That's what I was gonna get at. It's just like when you're a kid, you just see them as your parents, whatever. But I think growing up and like being an adult now, like everyone that you see, including your parents especially, like being in a relationship like that, you're like, wow, you're really just a girl. Like my mom, I look at my mom like, wow, you're really just a girl. My dad, like, you're just like this teenage boy that grew up and like love. It's just like you're wasting your life. Like your life. Like you are just a little girl and like your dreams and everything. Like I just think about that all the time, especially with like my mom having kids at such a young age. Like it's just like I don't know, you have to grow up, but like you don't just like grow up like that even when you have a kid. Like it just
Yeah.
like I think I grew up with my mom. And then like her last relationship with like my father figure, my stepdad, they were together for 7 years. And I don't know, it was just they towards the end of their marriage they were just like that. Like
Yeah.
very unhappy, arguing
And
all the
they had,
time.
like, your mom had a boyfriend and like while she was still, like
Yeah, cut that out.
well, like she
Yeah.
did, like
They just I think they stuck together because my stepdad like came into our lives at a time where we had so many wait, cut that out.
he's a good man.
He's a good man. But my father figure coming into my life, being there, never leaving, it was just like you just had to stay for the kids. Like they finally have this.
And I think, personal opinion, could be completely wrong. I think it was because like he doesn't have any kids of his own,
Yeah.
and he really like he's such like a good dad,
He just took on to us
and
and
he
like
just
did not
so
want to
I
let
just
go.
yeah. So I think like I feel like in that situation, if he would have had his own kids too, like how you're like you
Yeah.
obviously like your mom, I feel like it would have been different because it would have been easier for
100%.
him to leave because he still had that, because he's such a good dad that it's like if he would have had his own children to continue to put that onto, it would have been easier for him
Right.
to like realize like, okay, I'm unhappy, I need to, whatever.
Yeah, and when you look at the time frames, like your entire childhood, like 18 years, like they were together for 7 years, every single day. It's routine. Like we have our kids, like we have to make dinner, like school, like going to all their sporting events, like being a part of like your kids' lives, but also relationship wise, like. And then one's not working, so we have to make sure that this one's perfect, and then it's just breaking apart because the kids see that it's not working.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to put
Like
it.
it's just two relationships, and like when one's not working, the other one's like gonna
and you
see it.
have to have this one before you can have this one.
100%.
If
That's
you
it.
don't have this one's not going to be there no matter how hard you try.
Exactly.
And I think kind of segueing back to what you said with how like teenager, and then it's still like they're like that after the relationship. So
Yeah.
my dad, even after all that time, he was kind of obviously they separated each other, and my dad has come to me for relationship advice or like advice on random things that as his child I thought he would be able to, he's supposed to be giving me those that advice and stuff. So we were out hunting and he was having problems with his girlfriend and everything like that, and he was like brung this up to get my intake on the whole thing because we've been together, solid for 5 years. And I think it was so weird, dude. It was kind of, it was such a bring back
ever.
It was
though,
such a
like,
bring back to where he was like my dad isn't like a vulnerable guy. Like he's
Yeah.
super hard-headed,
Mhm.
and for him to do that was huge.
Be like,
dude.
give
It
me a
was-
second. I
it
got to
was
freak out behind this
huge.
tree.
I was
real
like,
quick.
I had a face mask on so he couldn't see, but I had the brightest smile on my face, dude.
Real quick, also, with being the parent and then being the child, when your parents aren't together, you do have to take like a second. Like it's going to hurt for like a second when your parents come to you about, like when you're an adult and they come to you about relationship advice.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, wait, but my mom, or like, wait, but like that love, like you still hold on to that love of your
Yeah.
parents. But then, yeah, like the excitement of like, oh, like you're dating. Oh, like you're out
Yeah.
there.
Whenever it was so
Like
weird.
you're not old.
It was so weird whenever they split up. Whenever they first split up, and obviously they were like getting back into it and stuff, they would like my dad just called me the other day about him seeing this new girl.
Oh yeah.
And he hasn't told me who this person is yet. And it's kind of just like, it's weird, but at the same time, dude, I'm just happy for him, like straight up.
Also at the same time with that point though, but your mom didn't.
Yeah.
you're
100%.
like his mom got back together with her ex-husband.
Mhm.
So like
whoa,
e-
whoa,
Okay.
hang
Yeah,
on
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
But that's still
dynamic.
like
no,
familiar.
but the thing is that what I was gonna say is like I feel like that was like she knew that was her person. It
Yeah.
didn't work out, but she knew.
Yeah.
And now they're back together and they're like so
What?
happy. Like his mom is like so happy, and
That's
it's
the
like
thing.
amazing.
That's the thing too with
Going
like
back to like your wow.
And like they have two kids, like his older sister and older brother, like that's their dad. Like
Oh, so she had kids before.
yes,
Got back with the guy.
yes. And I like, in my opinion,
My
like
mind is blown right now.
I feel like she knew that like
That's
that
right,
was her
yeah.
person, and like it didn't work out. Whatever happened, I don't know what happened, and it's none of my business. But like whatever happened, like she had two kids with someone else. That relationship didn't work out. She knew that was her person. That's immediately who she went back to. It didn't even take anybody else.
Wow, that's
Kids
wow.
ruin some people too. I mean, it could have been the best relationship in the world, and they could have not
Whoa,
been.
whoa.
It
Wait.
could have not been like they could have not had, because a lot of people, they don't have their goals set on how are you going to raise your kids.
Yeah.
How are you going to raise your kids is the biggest thing in the world. Are you going to homeschool them? Are you going to send them to school?
Everything.
What are
Have
you going to
those
do?
talks.
What are their grades going to be like? Something so simple, and then you don't talk about it and you focus on yourselves. That's why it's such a tricky topic.
Yeah.
If you just focus on you, it's never going to work with those kids that come out.
That's why it's super important, like we were talking about earlier, to know that person before you put a title, put everything, have those set foundation of what you want your future to look like already planned out.
Right, and you guys are
We did that.
trying. Yeah, you 100%. You've had to because you guys are trying to have a kid, and you guys were like peak ready, like just peak.
Peak ready.
It's about
So
that time.
get pregnant.
That's a-
So get pregnant.
About that time to bring a little me or a little her in this planet. It's gonna be a girl. I already know. She hates that though.
And like who did a great segment on that? I think it was Charlie Kirk that said the week-long vacation thing of you have go first thing off the rip, go on a week-long vacation.
It's not a
with
bad
that person.
idea.
You got to
It's not
know.
a bad idea. 100%. 100%.
100%.
R.I.P.
Okay,
Yeah.
last inputs because I feel like we've been talking for so long.
Yeah, we really have.
We
So
have.
get it out quick.
I got one more question for everyone. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, question for Evan.
I've been struggling with this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We need to do a podcast.
Yeah.
One
Thought
sit
the
down.
boys are gonna
One
have a
sit down.
podcast.
No, one sit down on your guys' podcast, but talking about this whole topic because
Okay.
I'm really struggling with this right now. With my career choice, with my financial choices, with a lot of choices. So a coworker at work told me this story. And it says that there's this guy lost out in sea. And why are you
I'm
laughing?
sorry, I've just heard it so many times.
Oh, I was gonna say, have
Because
you
it
heard
stuck
this
with
story?
me. You ever hear those
Yeah,
sayings that
100%.
stick with
Yeah,
you till
100%.
the end of time?
Yep.
There's this guy that's lost out at sea. He says, Jesus, please save me. He says, don't let the sharks eat me. Please help me. I know you're going to help me. Well, a day later, a ship comes by.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, we're going to save you. You know, he says, no, Jesus is going to save me. I know it.
Right.
Like, all right, whatever. Pass by. Another ship comes by. And he's still praying. No, Jesus is going to save me. Well, the boat tips over and he dies. And he's in heaven. He sees Jesus. And he says, Jesus, I thought you told me you were going to save me. I knew it. He said, I sent 2 boats your way. How do you know in your life how do you take the things that he gives you? How do you know that they're from him?
Yeah.
And how do you pick and choose that you know what signs or what he puts into your life is from him? How do you choose that?
So I think just, that's a really hard thing to do because, Satan will do the same thing.
Exactly.
Satan will do the exact same
How do you
thing.
single something out? Because he'll give you everything you want in your life too.
Right?
He'll give you everything, but how do you know there's bad intentions?
It's okay. He had a question. So basically, obviously Satan can do the same thing. So I think it's just being in like spiritual, being able to good in your prayer life and being able to have that feeling that I think that you probably had where, goosebumps, that the Holy Spirit's there. And I think that's really important to kind of be able to justify if it's, a holy thing, or it's Satan trying to trick you. And I think that's just, it all comes down to how you see this certain thing and being able to be confident in your own judgment in that scenario.
Yeah, because I've prayed a lot with us too, because there's not a doubt in my mind that anything that you imply in your life from the Bible, your life gets dramatically better.
Yeah,
there's not a single thing in there that if you do not apply to your life, it gets better.
Right.
And I've been struggling with that a lot about my career choices and what he wants me to do with my life, but I don't know what signs to take from him.
Right.
And you obviously being you,
All-
I wanted to ask that.
All I gotta say, all I gotta say is that you'll know. That's it.
So, okay,
That's
in
all it
my
comes down
opinion,
to.
without the religious like side of things, if you're unhappy with something in your life, whether or not like, because I know like you work with your family, don't you? Or like,
To an extent, yes.
okay, so like so without like the religious like aspect of it, like if you're unhappy with something in your life, it's like the same thing as before, like with the relationship stuff. All you're gonna do is make yourself miserable in the long run. And like if you're unhappy with something, as hard as it's gonna be, and like it's scary, and you know you don't like, if I quit this job, like what am I gonna do? There's always something better, in my opinion. Like what you have right now is great, but there's always something better. I am a firm believer in that. Like you have this, you know, like your life, like, which I don't obviously personally know, but like your life is good. Like you have a good job, like you have a place to live, you have money, like you have Kiana, like you have all these things. Like your life is good, but like there's always like there you can take a step and it's always going to be better. Like okay, right now you guys are just, for example, like boyfriend and girlfriend. You take a step, you're going to get married. That's better than being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, yes.
So right now, you know, you have a car. Okay, well, you love your car, whatever, but like if you take a step, you can get a nicer car, a better car.
Yeah.
You have a job. Your job is great, it pays you good, whatever, but you take a step, there's a better job where you're not unhappy, where you're not like miserable, and you're staying there because you know you're comfortable. Again, with the comfortable thing, you're comfortable, you have a steady income, you know people, you like have like relationships, like friendships within that job, and you know what you're doing, so you don't have to start over. You're comfortable. But just because you're comfortable doesn't mean that it's what's for you.
That's how you get miserable
and
years
Yes.
and that's what I've been praying about. But my biggest thing is I don't want to be complacent. I there's always more money to be made, and if I take that next step from my job, I know that he's got me. But how do I know that I've got her? This I care for her tremendously. There's not a car payment, an insurance payment, a phone payment, a truck payment that will ever go unpaid. But if I take that next step, there's so much fear in that how am I gonna pay for that?
So I gotta just piggybacking off of kind of what she said. You said, even if you don't take a step forward in your job career, if you take a step back, even if it's a pay cut or whatever, obviously don't take a tremendous pay cut to where you can't pay your bills. But if you see that opportunity to take a step back and kind of reevaluate, have more time for the things around you, even if you take that pay cut, you never know what's going to happen with that career choice that you change to. So it could open up way more doors than so. In your line of work, it's hard to work up. There's a lot of people trying to do it.
Well,
So
this is what another thing is. My dad does the same. Like my stepdad, he does the same thing. When he first started out, he was in like you're like an entry level position or whatever, I'm assuming, or like
Kind of.
yeah. So that's like what my dad, like he would started out, he got a job, and he worked his. Now he's a boss, but he's been there for so many years. It took so long, and he hates it. He hates being in charge of people. Mm-hmm. He hates that he's out of state. My dad literally is home maybe 2 days a month.
Mm-hmm. It's rough.
He hates it.
Yeah.
But for him, he had 3 kids. He had a wife. My mom doesn't have to work at all. She wants to because she gets bored, but she doesn't. Like, they're about to be building a house. Like, my dad just got a 2025 truck. Like, he has all this money. And he will be the first one to tell you, it doesn't matter how much money he makes. He doesn't care. Yeah. money is nothing. He said you can't take it with you when you die. It doesn't matter. Like, if you're not happy just because, like you said, like you will never have a missed payment, that's fantastic. We don't have that either, but at the same time, like, if you're not happy with your career choices, like Evan said, like even if you have to take a step back and take a little bit of a pay cut, if it's gonna make your life happy, like you're gonna be happier in your life, why would you not want to do that?
Right.
And wait, sorry, to piggyback off of you, with the worried about me so much and like all the bills and stuff, this is like, I don't know, how you were brought up with relationships and being like alpha male, whatever. I work.
That's not like
I work. So I told you multiple times, like, take that for you to quit at your job, get another job. Maybe it's less of pay, whatever. For you to be happier, that's going to make us better. And like,
the thing too,
I can step up. Like, you don't.
if
like,
you
I
want
can
to
step up.
prioritize her, I can tell, like, you want to prioritize her and her wants and her needs. I can tell that. And the thing is, though, but if you're unhappy at your job, I'm going to guess 99% of the time when you come home, you're pissed off. You're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Even if you're not
I'm
at
fine with
her,
taking work home.
yes, and because you're unhappy at your job. So you're taking that home with you. And just like you said with the arguments, leave it at home. Leave it at work, but
Clock
you
out
can't.
at work.
But you can't because
Right.
it's not your job that you're mad at. Like, you're not mad at like your work. You're mad because you don't like your job. So like, that's not prioritizing her, because then you're arguing, you're fighting, you're in a
Yes.
bad mood. Even if it's not at her, you're in a bad mood, and then that puts her in a bad mood. That puts a strain on your relationship, and eventually you don't know in the long run what's going to happen. Years down the road, you stay at this miserable job, you keep making yourself miserable, you keep doing all these miserable things. It's not going to be good for you. Like what Evan said with the pay cut, like, I did that. I worked at jobs where like they didn't pay me anything, and like he was a majority paying our bills, but I have a better job now where I make good money and I do good things. I wouldn't have got that job without
Right.
the low paying job
Everything
that gave
falls
me
in
the
a line.
experience to get the high paying job.
And like with the bills and everything, we've been together for 3 years. We live together. We have the car payment, everything together. It's just like, you got to let go of the roles or thinking like, oh, I got to do this and this, this for her, and this is going to be good for her. But, oh, I hate my life so much. I'm coming home. Our relationship is like wrecking, but the bills are paid. No, it's that I am also a person. And like now in this time of the world, it takes 2 incomes. It takes 2
Yeah.
people,
The bills
and we
are
can't.
paid.
You barely can afford it. Like,
The bills are paid, but is your heart being paid?
That was
clock it.
corny. But I get
But
it.
seriously, like,
It
you-
was corny, but it was true.
It was
You
true.
you gotta let go because
That's
Big
true.
Mama's got it. Like, I'll
Nah,
work
yeah.
2 jobs.
Even if the bills are paid, that doesn't mean shit, because your bills can be paid and
Your relationship.
she's gonna break up
Yeah.
with you tomorrow
Yeah.
because you're being an asshole. You know what I
So-
mean? Not really, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah, just kind of directly to you, because I feel
Because
like
you're
you're really
21, like,
you're struggling about it. But I just got to tell you, dude, like, even if you take that pay cut, like I called my dad yesterday. I was like, hey, because I work at a good job. Like the job I work at, I love the people that I work around, whatever.
Yeah.
Mostly. Some people I don't, but you're going to get that anywhere. I called him and I was like, I was talking to him and I was like, so when are you going to shoot your boss a salary for me so I can come work with you? Because I'd be much happier working how my dad does.
Right.
In the woods, just, messing around with equipment, all that stuff. And that would be, $10,000-$15,000. That would be, cut off my annual salary. So I think it's just knowing that the place that you're at, you're not fully happy with, and you don't want to be there. It's okay to stay there momentarily to develop a foundation and know what you want. And then once you know that, you can chase it.
that job that you have right now, it bumped you up to be able to pay all your bills, have all that. Like, you're steady right now.
Yeah.
So it would be fine for you to take a step back and like, or whatever, take a step forward, get a different pay, whatever, like pay bump or a pay decrease.
And you said your stepdad works.
Mhm.
So, little kind of backstory. My entire family is in this. Some of them are in foreman positions. Some of them
Yeah.
are welders. Some of them are operators. Everything. The biggest thing that they will ever tell you is keep the blueprints out of your truck. never be a boss, because it is the most stressful thing
Mhm.
that you will ever do. So I learned how to weld, how to help, how to labor, how to run equipment. I've learned how to bolt up. I've learned every aspect of every gas and oil standpoint that you could have. I've tied into pads on the pipeline. I've worked at pads. I've done everything there is to do. But I don't even know if I want to level up my pay in that industry, because what's that going to get me? More money, but am I going to be happier than I
No.
am now?
You're
I-
never gonna be, and that's the thing is like, you just said like upstairs when we were talking like you thought it was Sunday because you're never off on
I'm
Saturdays.
never off on Saturdays.
Like, how do you have time to do anything for yourself, let alone somebody else, if you're never home?
So I'm
Exactly.
gonna say something, and you know, I know a lot of people that have been in the pipeline and have worked jobs like that where they're gone, and everybody that I've met say that they're miserable, and most of them are single. That kind of job is a single job. That is
Is a
somebody
single
that is a
single guy
nice
who he
job.
doesn't
Most.
have to worry
Yeah.
about a family.
He lives
doesn't
in a
have-
camper. He travels the
You don't
fucking
have to worry
country,
about
and he
like
just
what if like when, which I know like Kiana, she's weird about, like she doesn't know she wants to have kids or whatever. Like what if that happens, like, and you have a kid, like you're gonna have a 1-month-old baby that you see on Sundays. Like how would that make you feel?
I would move up. Since I've done the whole aspect, I would not be happy, but like from your stepdad's standpoint, I would not be happy, but since I've learned every aspect, I'd move into a foreman position and be salary.
Right, but
And then
you
I could
just
take
said-
off whenever I want.
But you just said you wouldn't be happy, so you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna have a 1-month-old baby. Don't you think that your attitude's gonna rub off on that baby, and he or she's gonna be like,
Something I gotta
"Oh, my
work on.
dad.
Something you gotta work on.
My
Yes.
dad
I mean,
is oh, I don't really think like, okay, because this is from personal experience with my dad being, whatever. My dad was never home. When he was home, he was always in a bad mood. He started arguments with my mom, he started arguments with us, and he knows that, and he's working on it now, but like I resented my dad. I barely talked to him. I did not, like, because he was mean.
yeah.
He hated his job. He would come home and he was mean. And it wasn't like he was like abusive, but he was just in a bad mood and he was just mean.
Yeah.
And so like I stayed in my room. I stayed to myself. I was always gone. And now like as an adult, like I know like that wasn't, I shouldn't have done that, but like as a kid, like that's what you do whenever you're in that situation. Like
Yeah.
you shut yourself off, because why would you want to surround yourself with someone who just is negative?
Yeah. Well, as a me, I cannot speak for anybody else, but as a me standpoint, I know that if, say, I moved up to that position and it benefited in pay for you and that kid and me, I know that my head is strong enough to fix our relationship. I love you dearly, and I would love that kid dearly. I know that I would be strong enough to fix that part of me of not bringing work home. I would be very stressed and my hair would probably be gray by the time I'm 30, but it would be.
You're gonna
benefit them.
yeah, it would. You're right. It would really, like I said, like my mom, she doesn't have to work. She does because she wants to, and she barely makes any money because she knows she doesn't have to. It doesn't matter. But you like would put yourself in a position to where you would make yourself miserable just because you would make money. Like to me, that just, I guess that just doesn't make sense. Like you would want, you have a kid and you have a wife and you have like a nice house and you have a nice car and your life is so good, but you're stressing yourself out so much that you have gray hair at 30.
It doesn't benefit me. It benefits them. That's my.
But how
role
can you
to
take,
me.
listen, how can you take care of someone else if you're not even taking care of yourself? A big part of taking care of someone else, especially a baby, is taking care of yourself. If you're not at least, I'm not going to say you have to be at 100% because I know you don't have to. But if you're not at least at a 75%, like for yourself, you're putting 0 into your family. and they're happy because, oh, you have money and you're taking care of them, and she never has to work and she can stay home and raise a baby, and you have a really nice house and a really nice car, and you can take off whenever you want to take off because you have this really good job and you're high up in the company and da 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 da, but you're putting zero into your family. Your wife's gonna feel that. Your kids are gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that. Your wife's gonna hate you. Your kids are gonna hate you. And at the end of the day, you're gonna be a guy who is miserable as fuck going to work every single day complaining about how his wife is mad at him all the time and his kids don't talk to him. My dad, prime example. His kids don't talk to him. My dad now, he's, older and like we're older, he cries to my mom because we never talked to him when we were kids. Like genuinely cries and gets upset.
Right.
And he knows that it was his fault because of how he was, and he regrets it and he cries and he says, I wish I was better. I wish that I did this differently. I wish I could do this now. Like, but you can't turn the clock back. It's always about what's going to happen here. You can't be here and wish, oh, I wish I would have done this differently, because you're already here. You can't move it backwards. All you can do is move it forward. So at the end of the day, like you said, you'll be miserable, you'll have gray hair, you'll do this, but they'll be taken care of. That's great, and that's fantastic that they'll be taken care of. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't genuinely take care of other people in the way that they need to be taken care of. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the nice. It doesn't mean anything in here. It means everything out here, but in here, she doesn't care about that. That baby doesn't care about that.
I see people at work that do it as well. Some people, like Evan said, some people you meet, a dude I know at work, he drives all the way back to Akron. We're working in Barnesville right now. He drives all the way back to Akron. He goes to his kids' sporting events. He loves his wife. He's a good family man. He tries very hard. Everything. She's a photographer, makes maybe $30,000 a year. Not much. It adds. Not much, but she's happy. She takes care of the kids. He goes to his kids' sporting events. He comes to work. He's happy all the time. But as far as putting himself into his kids, he does. But when he comes to work, is he stressed out sometimes? Yeah. Does he bring that home? No. Does he show anybody else it? No. But is he stressed out and you can tell? Absolutely. But he gives his kids and his wife everything that he needs.
Okay, I have to butt in. I'm butting in. I'm Switzerland. I'm butting in. Okay. Sorry.
I'm so gonna do it.
You guys were just like really going really hard, which is good. I like that. But we have had several talks about, because I've been with Henry since like I graduated high school. As soon as I graduated high school, I moved up with him in a camper at his workplace. Like, I've been with him since the start of like your blue collar career. And like, I've seen the stories that you have, the people that we've been to dinner with, like the families and stuff. Like, there are people like that. There's incredible guys out there that put so much into their family, but also do like the job, and they can work balance, like life balance, all that. But also there are almost more men than those men that struggle and have those terrible family lives.
And I only surround myself with the people that
right,
are good
right,
family.
right, 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 right.
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Henry, okay.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
Shout out, Principal, Newcomerstown High School.
Okay, wait. Okay, but still, I've told you that I don't want that life. I don't want to be just, I make all this money and you should be happy that you're at home and you don't have to work and you have this paid for and this paid for and this paid for, because I don't want that. I don't want to be settled, and I don't want to be stuck with it. Like, not stuck with the baby, because it's amazing to be a mom, but as the person I am, and like being wary about if I want to have children, I don't want to be stuck. And that would be being stuck for me. That would be the downfall of like my dreams and like my ambition and like everything that means so much to me. And I just feel like our relationship would just dwindle, and it would be exactly your personal experience and like the personal experience what we've seen before in so many families of like the wives are at home. Yes, they're being taken care of, and the men that do that and make sure that their wives don't have to do anything and their kids can do these amazing sports and get all this amazing stuff like growing up. But you're not there. You're not present. And I want a present family. I want a present husband. I want a husband that wants to be a husband and wants to be a dad. And that's just the difference. It's just like,
You can surround yourself with whatever kind of people you want, but at the end of the day, you decide how your life is going to be.
Yeah.
And you just said you would rather be miserable with gray hair and da-da-da-da-da to make somebody else happy. If you're not happy, you can't make anybody else happy.
So
Personal experience, you cannot have a miserable life like for yourself. You cannot have that and then turn around and pour in okay, oh, you want to talk about principles from fucking school? Okay, West Elementary, let's talk about dipping in people's buckets. You can't fill a bucket if your bucket is empty.
Yeah.
You cannot fill somebody up with like their bucket, whatever the fuck this, you know what I'm talking about, this bucket shit from
The bucket
fucking
theory. I don't. The
from
bucket
fucking
theory.
elementary school.
The buckets.
They
Yes.
haven't painted on the fucking thing.
Well, I feel like that's just a valid thing. Like they're the cup
You
theory.
can-
Like you can't fill up someone's
Here's-
cup when your
here's
cup is
Kiana's
empty.
cup. Here's Henry's cup. Henry's cup is empty, but he's pouring into Kiana. How the fuck can you pour into
You're
Kiana
pouring air.
if Henry's cup is empty?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like you wait, because I have to point out in the pod it's going to be there. You just said that you do struggle with bringing work home already now, and we don't even have kids. We have a wiener dog. Like,
Something you gotta work on.
yeah, and that's what we've talked about it, and you have worked on it. Like we're both working on that.
You can't work on something if you keep putting yourself in a miserable position, though.
okay, hold on. I'm gonna butt in because I feel like for the past like 5 minutes we have been just attacking Henry.
No, and that's not what I'm trying.
I
I'm
know.
not trying to make you feel like that. I'm really genuinely not. I'm just literally trying to like put it in your head that like I'm just trying to help you. Like
Being a
I'm not trying.
female-
I'm not trying to like make you feel any certain type of way. I'm not trying to like sound like I'm attacking you. And if I am, I apologize if that's what that's doing to you. But genuinely, I'm just trying to like get you to understand. Just from being her friend, like I know I've known her for such a long time, and I know I know, and also from personal experience, like I said, like that's where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to like attack you. I'm not trying to make you feel any certain type of way.
All
So if
points
I
of value.
am, I apologize, but that's not what my intention was. But I just like I'm trying to like bring multiple different things to the table so that you can see like I'm being devil's advocate. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like
So, just to kind of fill your shoes and how you're thinking right now, because I used to think like that too. So obviously, growing up, my dad was a trucker, gone 2
All the
weeks, 3
time.
weeks at a time, and he would only be home like a couple weekends out of a month. So my mom didn't work. It was all my dad. He had plenty of money. We had a nice, living, everything like that. So I understand the kind of feeling, because I had the same feeling too, where, you want to make so much money to where, your wife and your children never have to worry about bills, never have to worry
Yep.
about anything.
Yep.
100%. I think that way sometimes too. And I think sometimes you got to understand that they're their own, own person, and they have their own, some people want that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's just definitely an old-fashioned, thoughts and way of thinking that we were
Yeah.
brought up with.
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with thinking that way.
And
at all.
and backstory, I don't want you to think that that's just how I think, but my mom got pregnant with me 18. My dad went straight into the Boilermakers.
Yep.
The power plant in Conesville that got tore down by Walmart, he built those stacks.
Right.
He worked there. That's what built our house.
Right.
He was close to home, but there's sometimes you're 4 months gone.
Yeah.
And I remember staying in hotels with him
Yeah.
because he couldn't come home. He was weld bossing. He was in charge of 3 different job sites with 50 different welders. He was gone. And I seen him come home, and you pick up right where you left off. That my parents' marriage was happy.
Yeah.
It gave me and my sister a great life.
Yeah.
It gave, so I see it be done, and I think that I can do it because
Right.
he balanced his
Yeah,
stress so well.
Which
Yeah,
is good that
100%.
you have like
yeah,
that to
that's
see.
what I'm saying. Like that's great that that's like what you grew up with, and like that's really like admirable. Like that's amazing that your parents could do that, and that you had that life, and that your dad was able to do that for you and for your mom and for your sister and like you like for your family. But like at the same time, like you're not your dad.
We don't have a baby.
Yeah,
Yet, too.
so-
we didn't get
Yeah.
And I can kind of go into the kind of other situation where, you know, your dad had that job, took care of your parent, you know, your mom and you guys as kids. My dad did that, but then something happened and he got laid off. He lost his job.
Right.
And then we moved down to, which is totally different. We had a nice house, middle of the country, and then to a house on that was not very nice.
Yeah.
And didn't have any land. Well,
this is on the internet.
blank. Anyways,
He'll cut it out.
But I can kind of come from the totally, you know, I had that. We had that.
Yeah.
But then it was lost.
Yeah.
And those things can happen
Quick.
instantly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my mom wasn't used to working. She liked working. She's always worked factory
Mhm.
jobs, which she's hated. So she was kind of forced to go back into that lifestyle. And that, you know, when we moved down to where we are now, that's when their relationship really, like, it was already kind of spreading apart, but that's when it really did.
Yeah.
Because they were used to that dynamic of, you know, my dad was always had this feeling of like, I'm taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody's okay, you know.
Exactly.
We have
Yeah.
such a nice, you know, place and everything. But then it totally, his life and everything he was used to, it totally got flipped.
Yeah.
So I can come from the other side of it not working. And that's just where, you know, you have to be, you know, comfortable and know that, you know, things can happen.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they were really expecting that.
Yeah.
Because my dad was a trucker since he was 17 years old.
Right.
My dad had a CDL, you know,
17.
like his dad was a trucker, my grandpa was a trucker.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of all the way down. And he had a CDL. He was driving truck with his dad illegally. At like he was driving truck at like 16 years old. I'm gonna cut this out.
No,
Wait. Last.
I have to literally.
She has a nail appointment.
Okay. I'm gonna be quick. But he was used to that lifestyle. So that's all he knew.
Yeah.
So when he moved down here, it was totally flipped upside down. Totally new career, not expecting it, everything like that. So I've seen the opposite.
Yeah.
Last side
That's
note,
just, you know.
ladies, right now in the world we're living, 2 incomes it takes. Always go to school. Always get your own education so that you, whether you love this person or not, and you guys are sticking with each other forever, yeah, an accident can happen and you have to step up. So always go to school. Always get your education. Always get your money up as a female as well. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
And also, I just feel like I need to say this again. I think it's admirable the way that you think. I think that that's like you want to be a provider and you want to take care. Like Evan's the same way.
That's just the
And I think that's
nature.
very like an admirable like thing. Like
It's
you
alpha
want her
male.
to be taken care of. You want her to like have the things that she wants. You never want her to like go without. And I think that's like very, like I said, admirable. But
Hello, everybody. This is Editing Evan. I just want to say that this video got cut off early. I ran out of phone storage. See you next episode.